This meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Norris, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
I am here.
Councilmember Edgar.
Here.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Okay, need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next, we have a consent agenda. They are routine items presented without discussion as a single item. Any council member can ask to have them dropped from the blanket motion and considered separately. A, regular city council meeting minutes for March 4th, 2024. B, payment of invoices from OHM Advisors for 8 Mile Booster Station Rehab, GIS DWAM grant, and 9 Mile Road construction for the total amount of $6,966.50. C, Quarter Improvement Authority minutes for December 21st, 2023, and January 18th, 2024. D, Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes for December 20th, 2023, and licenses new and renewals for March 18th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Yes.
Could we just take C off of the consent agenda?
Certainly. So this is a vote to approve A, B, D, and E. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That carries. Now we are on Corridor Improvement Authority meeting minutes for December 21st and January 18th. We need first a motion to approve that separately.
So,
Second.
Thank you. And then Councilmember Edgar.
I wondered if Director Maroney could come up, and I just want to talk a little bit about the, good evening.
What kind of information would you like?
Well, I noticed that we didn't get the grant to do the parking lot, so I wondered what we're thinking about now. I know during your meeting, you discussed doing this with asphalt and another material. Will that last? Is it worth doing it? Is it worth waiting until we get a grant?
Well, we are getting a grant. We are getting a grant from Oakland County that we either use it or we lose it, and it's specific to this project only. We were partnering with Oakland County and applying for the RAP grant, which we did not receive through the state of Michigan. However, Oakland County had already designated some of their ARPA dollars to go towards the 13 communities that applied jointly for the RAP grant. They're giving us that portion of Oakland County, which we're anticipating 40% at least for the cost of the project. Could be higher depending on where all the other projects come in. Oakland County has designated $5 million towards the 13 communities to cover those costs. We are changing it slightly in that the drive lane where the trucks and the major traffic is going to go will still be in concrete, and then the remainder of the parking lot area will be in asphalt. So yes, it will still last a significant amount of time. These parking lots have not been touched since 1984, and they are in desperate need of being redone. And we're also able to add green infrastructure to there as well, which will help with more water going into the storms and sewers, and adding new lighting and some public amenities as well. So you'll have some little seating areas, places with fire pits, so that people can actually enjoy the social district. When they take their beverages outside, they'll have an area where they can actually sit that is not just a parking lot, as well as adding murals on the back wall that's already there and additional landscaping.
So what about the lights on the water tower? Are we still going forward with that?
Yep, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it into this project, so it's just becoming a little bit larger of a project, and then a portion of it then becomes covered by the Oakland County grant.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions or comments? I'm amazed. It's very exciting, what's going on in Oak Park. It's just heading up. Now we're voting on 5C. All those in favor of approving the minutes for December and January, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 6 is recognition of visiting elected officials. Don't see any this time. Brings us to public hearings. So I will call on Clerk Ed Norris.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have a public hearing tonight first, which is to receive public comments regarding the request by ABV Group LLC. They're doing business as Mother Handsome, 14661 West 11 Mile, Suite 500. It's the issuance or transfer of a license and upgrade to a Class C liquor license. So the first item we have is the public hearing. Later, afterward, we will entertain two resolutions. One is our local resolution issuing the license, as well as the state of Michigan resolution that's required to do the same. So the public hearing.
Thank you. So first, we will gavel open the public hearing to receive public comments regarding the request by ABV Group Limited, doing business as Mother Hanson, 14661 West 11 Mile, Suite 500, for the issuance of a tavern license transfer and upgrade to a Class C liquor license. We need a motion and a second.
Second.
Thank you. I wonder if we can call up, who do we have? Please come up from Mother, yes? Public hearing, can't talk to him. Got it. For the next one. The public hearing is opened, and we will call Mother Handsome up for the 7B section, correct? And this one's just the public hearing. Anyone here to talk about, it's the old Berkeley Coffee site, and luckily we have someone taking its place. Any public comment? Hearing none, we are on 7B, resolution approving the issuance of a tavern license transfer and upgrade to a Class C liquor license to ABV Group Limited, doing business as Mother Handsome, 14661 West 11 Mile, Suite 500. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second, thank you. Now we can call you up. Please come up, introduce yourselves, and tell us what you've got planned. We're so delighted that nice use will be happening with that.
I'm so nervous. I haven't done this in
Oh,
high school. So
oh
it's
golly.
crazy.
We don't bite. So just give us your name.
Sure. My name is Brooke Zadorsky. I am the co-owner of Mother Handsome. My business partner, Aaron Ty, is also here tonight. And I'm super excited to answer any questions you might have about what we're doing in the space.
Wonderful. So have you done business elsewhere before this one?
Yeah, my business partner, Aaron Ty, is also the co-owner of Detroit Fleet in Ferndale. I'm currently the marketing manager at that space as well. So we have a lot of opportunities to work with the community over in Ferndale. And we are excited to bring a sister location to Oak Park.
Very, very exciting. Tell me what you have in mind. What's it going to be like?
Sure. So judging by the amount of people that have been coming through looking for coffee in the mornings when we're there, we are definitely going to continue having a coffee shop in the mornings.
Oh,
right. I feel like there's a need for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
We've had a lot of people being like, do you guys have coffee? And we're like, not yet. And then in the evenings, we're transitioning into a happy hour kitchen program with a full bar. We are working on putting together a food program to be able to offer something in our establishment. So we're getting ready to meet with some people and finalize that.
What are you thinking about, burgers or?
We're thinking about pizza. Yeah, so Mother Handsome Pizza has a ring to it, and we've been talking a lot with our neighbors in the surrounding area, like Dog and Pony Show, also the training station, and we feel like there might be a need for that in the area. We're talking about putting QR codes on the tables at Dog and Pony, being able to run it over next door, doing private parties over at training station. There's always a need for catering there. So we would be really excited to work with everybody in the Strip.
City Manager Eric Tungate.
Brooke, right?
It is.
Brooke, I want to welcome you to the city of Oak Park. I also have a question.
Okay.
This is a great business concept, by the way.
Oh, good.
And maybe my question is geared more towards the city clerk, but I just want to clarify. So the request in front of council would be to do a direct transfer of the tavern license, and then at a later date, no, okay, correct me.
I'm sorry, this is all together. This is it's an update.
Okay, so
Great.
let me say this, and you tell me if I'm off. To not only transfer the liquor license, the tavern license, but upgrade it to a Class C liquor license.
That is what we're doing.
Okay. I just wanted clarification on that, but
Yeah.
thank you.
No worries. That is what we're doing, yes. So there's a tavern license in place, and we would like to upgrade it to a Class C in order to be able to provide happy hour, our food program, and anything else we need to do over at Mother Handsome.
We couldn't be more delighted. When do you plan to open?
Oh, we're planning on June, so we're really moving, and we're excited. I think summer is a great time. When we have been over there, the amount of traffic that's been walking through, especially in the social district, when the weather's warm, like the amount of people is wild. So we're super excited to be able to open when the weather's warm and welcome everybody into our space.
We are delighted to have you, thrilled.
Thank you so much. I
And-
appreciate it.
And if you have a grand opening, you invite all of us
Oh,
to
yeah.
come and smile and
That's friends and
celebrate with
family.
you. I put your business on my Facebook page. You've got to go try this. It's fabulous. I support all of the Oak Park businesses. It's a miracle that we went from basically no restaurants to things just cooking and happening. So thanks for being part of the solution, and you did great, having
Oh,
not
well,
spoken
thanks so
since high
much.
school, by the way.
Thank you so much for your support. We're so excited to see you guys this summer. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, questions, wait a minute. Questions from other than me? Yes.
And using the stage in there, because the open mic nights and the concerts that Kenny hosted were very popular, and I've heard from people that they want that to continue, and it's, of course, a great space.
We've heard a lot of that in our social media posts, a lot of people asking if we're going to be able to continue that. And currently, that's not something that's a part of our normal business, but in the future, if we have private events or events that call for that, we're more than willing to be able to do some sort of entertainment. We're looking at our AV system, we're putting in, speakers, everything like that, to be able to accommodate that when we're able.
And maybe this is something you can't answer, maybe this is something for Eric or Ebony. What's the difference? So how does a transfer work as opposed to the city giving a new license? Is it transferring through us and then we upgrade the license to Class C? How does this work?
State of Michigan.
So the state of Michigan will transfer,
Will transfer the existing license, but we as the local government have to approve the transfer before the state will approve it.
And
This is
I might add that the main issue is that we're upgrading to Class C, so that's important. Yeah.
First transferring title to the new business, and then going from beer and wine to mixed drinks. Yes.
Available still?
That's going to be a question for Kim. No, we still have we still got a good chunk.
Hi. I believe we have 19 available.
Yeah.
Wow. Still 19 available.
So Brooke, we need 19 friends to start
My
restaurants.
friends, I have a lot of friends
Okay.
that can come through. No worries.
This year would be nice if you could handle all of that for us. That'd be fantastic.
Give a call out to my family.
We were the biggest dry city in the state of Michigan until 2014? 15, when we had beer and wine, and then regular liquor licenses, and people were concerned that it was going to be sleazy, and it's fabulous. It's just exciting.
I just have one more question, Madam Mayor, and this might be a question for Kim. I'm sorry, Brooke. So does because council is potentially going to authorize this upgrade to a Class C, that would take away our available number of Class Cs?
No,
No?
No.
Okay.
no. It's just transferring from one name to another, Tavern to Class C. We still have the same number of
I see.
available
Okay.
licenses.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you.
There is a fee that the state charges for a transfer of the license and then also the upgrade to the Class C, so that there is a fee.
A state fee, but
Brooke, this is our first transfer we've had, so bear with us here.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be a part of this.
cute. Oh, wonderful. Any further questions or comments? Oh, no.
Man, I wish.
Yeah, yeah. She wants a burger with her pizza, yeah, so keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being
Thank
part
you
of
so
the
much.
Oak Park community. And we, Kim Maroney, Director Maroney, will be in touch. And there'll be all kinds of events that you can play into, because we went from one event a year to, I think, now 50 events in a year. We're just kicking it up a notch in Oak Park, and you're here just at the right time. So what we do need is a vote on the resolution. Would you do a roll call, please? This is issuing the transfer and upgrade to Mother Hanson.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar, Mayor McClellan,
Mhm.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Motion carried. Welcome to the city. We're thrilled. And special licenses. Item 8A is a request for a special event license submitted by Train Station Sports Limited, 14461 West 11 Mile, Suite 700, your neighbor, for an open house to be held April 6th, 2024, from 4 to 7 p.m. They have paid the $100 fee that a for-profit company pays, and they've been approved by all departments. I need a motion to accept this request. Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're down to accounting reports. Payment of invoices submitted by Garen Lukow Miller, PC, for legal services for the total amount of $17,602.73. Councilman Radner, do we have a motion? So moved. All right. And a second. Thank you. Roll call, I believe.
Councilmember Edgar, Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner, Councilmember Whitehead, and Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Now we're up to bids, and I'd like to call up Kara Grissomer, our city engineer, this is a request to award the bid for the 2024 Catch Basin Line Replacement Project M761 to JB Contractors Incorporated of Detroit, Michigan, for the total amount of $260,890. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Let's see, Engineer Grissomer, tell us what a catch basin is, why we're replacing it, how many more we have to replace, and why we picked these people.
Good evening, Mayor. A catch basin is the same thing as a stormwater inlet. It is a structure that is under the pavement, that has a graded top that collects the stormwater. It's usually at low points in the road, curb lines. And generally, we're not replacing catch basins with this project. We're actually replacing the pipes that connect the catch basins from the catch basin to the manhole or between two catch basins. So they're very short lines, generally less than 30 feet. So it is more cost effective to do a replacement. They're also very shallow. So just digging it up real quick, putting it in, it's generally a one-day job per area. There's a couple of longer ones. There was one that's just over 50 feet, but that is the very longest on this project. We received 5 bids on February 29th, and JB Contractors of Detroit was the low bidder. We called their references, and they came back positive. And so that's why we're recommending that you award the regular bid for this project.
Okay. So this is, do we have a motion? Yes, okay. Any questions? I keep thinking, usually when we are fixing a pipe anywhere, we put the plastic liner in.
That's
for-
right.
For sewer pipes.
Yes.
And why don't we do that for this kind?
Because it is cheaper to do it this way, because these are much more shallow than our sewers, which are more than 10 feet deep throughout the city. These ones are only going to be about 3 feet deep.
Okay. So you're actually replacing pipe with pipe?
That's right. Most of these repairs are stuff that we found in videos where the pipe has separated and is offset.
So we're
Or-
losing water?
Well, no, we're not losing any water. This is storm, so we're releasing storm water into the ground, which isn't that big of a deal, but it does mean that there could be a void under the road because soil can get in there, as well as sometimes it's so offset we can't get the camera all the way through. So we have the problem with when we do our TV sewer cleaning and videoing, we can't get the video all the way through. So the other reason why we're replacing these pipes is because there's a section that's fully collapsed. Yes. What's that? Where is that? Oh, there's many places. We have about 20-some locations, maybe a little bit more, that we're doing these pipes replacement. But generally, storm pipes being collapsed, we find them once in a while, and we put them on the next catch basin line replacement.
We follow procedure and a timeline and
Yeah.
keep everything in good shape. Any further questions? Ready for a vote then. City Clerk?
Mayor McClellan?
Yes.
Councilmember Radner? Yes. Councilmember Whitehead? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar?
Motion carried, thank you. I don't think the city attorney has any comments. This puts us to section 12 on the agenda. City Manager Eric Chungi.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. 12A, I'm going to take this one as a request to, 12A1, I should say, request to approve a proposal from PFM Financial Advisors LLC for municipal advisory services for the City of Oak Park for our unlimited tax general obligation bonds, i.e. the bonds that we will hopefully be issuing to build our new community center as the voters ratified. PFM is a firm that we've worked with in the past here. They have helped us refinance some of the bonds that have been previously issued. On page 57 of your packet, there's a listing of the types of services that this type a financial consultant will do. I think the biggest thing here is that they prepare and analyze debt structure alternatives and cash flow. So obviously, we want to make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck for our taxpayers when we issue these $44 million in bonds.
And then they pick the best time to take out the loans, correct?
Absolutely, right. And not only that, it may be a situation, just as another example, where maybe issuing all of the debt at once isn't advantageous. Maybe we issue it in chunks to save on the interest. But those are all the kinds of things that, as they've done for us in the past, that they will be guiding us through on this transaction.
So, first we need a motion to approve that proposal.
Second.
Thank you. Then, how was this company picked? I know we worked with them before and we're pleased.
That's why they were chosen, just because we have experience with them. They've guided us through these transactions in the past, so,
Helpful.
Yeah.
Well,
and again, this is a professional services contract, so. By the way, too, one more thing, on page 59 of your packet, which is page 4 of their packet, there's a fee schedule. And basically, they give an example here. So for every 10 million in general obligation bonds they issue, the cost would be about 31,000. And that fee structure follows the same fee structure we've had with them in the past.
Okay. And is someone here from that company?
I don't know.
No. Okay. Any questions for the city manager? Thank you. Request to approve a proposal. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner. Councilmember Whitehead. Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar. And Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, and then 12A2, I'm going to do this one as well. So this is a resolution authorizing reimbursement of expenses from bond proceeds. And council members, this was the resolution, the reimbursement resolution I was talking to you about before. That was recommended to us from our newly hired bond counsel that we hired a few meetings ago. And essentially what this means is that expenses that can be attributed to the bond proceeds that we spend on now, we can be reimbursed from the bond proceeds when we issue the bonds, as long as they're applicable to the construction and development of the community center.
So we're taking the money out of the general fund.
Correct. So that in this case, if we were to do that, and you just think about some of the pre-development costs, for example, the architectural engineering is a good example of that. Obviously, we're going to have to pay for some of that prior to the issuance of bonds, but those are directly tied and attributable to the project itself. So those kinds of things would be reimbursable as long as we adopt this resolution at his recommendation.
So we need a motion adopting this resolution authorizing reimbursing expenses from bond proceeds paid out of the general fund.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar. Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Okay, 12B1, I'd like to call City Engineer Kara Grissomer up, and I'd like her to talk about the giant amount of miscellaneous concrete projects we did, which is great for the city.
Good evening. Normally, in the past few years, we have dedicated $500,000 to our miscellaneous concrete project. That was just making us still lose the, we weren't spending enough to actually fix the roads. We were just barely spending enough and we were losing ground. So this year, you had budgeted $1 million toward miscellaneous concrete. Our bids came in and we were just under $950,000 for miscellaneous concrete. And we are asking you to approve the change order number 1 for just under $50,000 so that we can fully expend the budgeted amount on our roads.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this change order?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion or questions?
Yes. So we didn't budget more for miscellaneous concrete. What are we gonna be able to do now with that $1 million?
We have, excuse me, let me get you the numbers. So our original bid quantity was 10,700 square yards of concrete pavement. And we are increasing the quantity by 639 square yards. So we are literally gonna get more bang for our buck at these rates, which we're not gonna see again for a while. Yes, we have added more pavement to be replaced that it is in dire need of replacing
Right. And that's in the street.
in the streets.
And and the locations are in those beautiful new maps
Yes.
that you can actually read.
Yes, you can.
And you can find, specifically from that wonderful map where each project is going to be
Yes.
having. Mhm. I know everyone is going to be thrilled with a little more street repair. If there are no further questions, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar? Mayor McClellan?
Yes,
Councilmember Radner? Councilmember Whitehead?
motion carried.
Okay, thank you, City Engineer Kara Grissomer. Item 12C1, I would like to call up our esteemed colleague, our Finance Director, Sandra Crawford.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Burns, council members, City Manager Tungate. Item 12C1, before you is a resolution authorizing the city assessor to prepare special assessment rolls assessing unpaid charges together with a 10% penalty on private property for delinquent utilities totaling $240,280.17. False alarms totaling $1,430. Property blight totaling $18,901.83. And miscellaneous concrete replacement totaling $13,378.82. The Deputy Treasurer is asking that the list that is attached that have outstanding charges for delinquent utilities, false alarms, property blight, and miscellaneous concrete replacements, that the city assessor be authorized and directed to prepare special assessment rolls assessing unpaid charges together with a penalty of 10% to the real property tax roll. So what we're asking is that the attached resolution be adopted, authorizing and directing the city assessor to prepare the special assessment rolls.
We need a motion approving this resolution.
Second.
Thank you. Questions? Discussion?
I do have a question.
Councilmember Julie Edgar.
We've come to the end of the agenda and there's time. So exciting.
Right.
So how does, talk about false alarms, like when does that rise to the level of when is it a false alarm as opposed to just an accidental call to 911?
Let me get Deputy Director Janopoulos up here to explain their process.
Good evening. False alarm is just that, a false alarm. If we arrive there and determine that it's not a real burglary or holdup or fire, then it's a false alarm. Excluding weather events, there's some exclusions in there, but
So how do we let the homeowner know, or the resident know, that they're going to be ticketed?
I believe when they get their alarm permit, they're advised of the ordinance.
So,
City Manager
Deputy.
Tungy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Deputy Director, is it not a 3 strikes rule, though, too?
Yes, you
Okay.
get 3 false alarms,
Yeah.
and then after that, you're charged.
Further questions?
And one more question, the miscellaneous concrete replacements, is that the sidewalks that, the sidewalks, okay. Okay, thank you. That was my question, Kara answered it, she nodded.
Okay. Further questions? Roll call vote?
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
Moving right along to item 12C.
12C2. Director Crawford, thank you.
Before you is resolution to receive special assessment rolls and to establish April 1st, 2024 as the date of the public hearing on the rolls for unpaid charges for city expenses that incurred on private premises for delinquent utilities, Special Assessment District Number 712, false alarm, District Number 713, property blight, District Number 714, and miscellaneous concrete replacement, District Number 715. The Deputy Treasurer is asking that at this current meeting, that City Council receive the list of unpaid charges for expenses that were incurred on private premises, and it was prepared by the Deputy Treasurer and concurred by myself, the Finance Director, and that the special assessment rolls be prepared. We're asking to adopt the special assessment roll resolution, which is attached, receiving special assessment roll 712, 713, 714, and 715, and establishing April 1st, 2024 as the date for the public hearing on the rolls of unpaid charges for expenses incurred on private premises.
Okay, is there a motion approving this resolution?
So moved?
Thank you. Discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead. Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Thank you.
Carried, thank you.
Thank you, Director Crawford. And the last item on the city manager report, council members, is D, Elevate Oak Park. As you know, the second council meetings every month, I give you a brief update. And by the way, these updates will become much more thorough and involved as we go on, but I did want to give you a couple things in writing here, which is, first, we solidified $1 million for the event hub through a federal earmark that was signed into law by President Biden. Thank you very much, Crystal Van Vleck and the federal government, for your pork barrel spending on us. So that means that we've secured funding for the total project of about $8.75 million. We've now secured right around $6 million of that, 3.75 in the form of grants, and the rest from capital improvement dollars we've rolled over. And that's not including that we're still waiting for a Humana grant and a Ralph C. Wilson grant, which Crystal has put those requests in, and we are just waiting to now get those meetings and hopefully fully fund this project.
Wow.
So we don't have to use any of our newly approved recreation millage money. Number two, we signed the agreement for architectural and engineering services with Newman Smith. And I'm very excited to say, I can't share these publicly yet, but we did get some preliminary renderings the other day, but the public will be seeing some renderings. I think we'll be seeing those by about mid-April. I'm elated, and I can't wait to share this with our community for input, of course. We have now received from city council members a resolution of support to negotiate an interlocal agreement with Berkeley Schools for Tyler Park. And just to clarify this, Berkeley Schools is moving forward on their half of Tyler Park for a full redo, which will include a varsity softball diamond upgrade. And so we're going to take advantage of having contractors and other things on site and do our portion or some of our portion of it as well. So we'll be coming back to you with a interlocal agreement that will address some of that. And then I think last but not least, we're currently in the annual budgeting process, which, by the way, begins in earnest tomorrow with the staff and I to determine how additional funds could be allocated to our parks and recreation facilities. But along with the two things that you've approved tonight, which one was the financial consultant for the bond underwriting, and two, the reimbursement resolution, there's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of things going on, but it's all exciting for our community. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, council members.
Are there questions about the policy or the funding or the project?
Just was wondering if you could give us an update of the Humana and Ralph C. Wilson grants?
I'm going to have Crystal come up and do that.
Good evening. The Ralph C. Wilson grant we applied for a few months ago, and they said that they will be releasing those results next month, so we're hoping to hear on that. The Humana is, we partner with them for quite a few things through our recreation department, and we are working on securing a meeting with them right now. So we actually had been in discussions with them about this grant opportunity, and they were really excited about it, and actually, Lori in our recreation department worked on that grant, really in coordination with Humana. So we're really hoping that the results of that will be positive. But we're just waiting to schedule a meeting with them, getting our schedules in line.
And Crystal, I want to just piggyback on that. You know, one of the big things is they've asked us for a follow-up. So something good is happening, we think, but we just don't know yet. I also want to use this opportunity to just say it again, which is the number of grant applications that come out of this place is just amazing. And so much of it is led by Crystal and the team. I honestly, and Kim and Lori and Dave and Kara, and I'm forgetting people, but honestly, we're a machine. So no matter what, we know that we're getting the biggest bang for our buck because we're asking. And I think that's so much of the battle is just asking for assistance, and that's what we're doing.
And Humana likes that we're doing the farmer's market because they're into health, and that kind of coordinates with their goals.
Correct, yeah. We already run some programs in coordination with them in our current market, and we're looking at expanding that. And so obviously they have there's a benefit to them for our event hub as well, as they would like to see their programs expanded here.
Wonderful. And this lets it start earlier and go later.
Correct, yeah.
Because it's an indoor
A 4-season
facility.
structure, yes.
Year-round. Things are cooking in Oak Park. Okay, where are we here?
Okay, thank you, Crystal. Madam Mayor, members of council, if there aren't any further questions, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Tungay. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, would you read about the call to the audience?
Each speaker's remarks are a matter of public record. The speaker alone is responsible for his or her comments, and the City of Oak Park does not, by permitting such remarks, support, endorse, or accept the content thereof as being true or accurate. Any person, while being heard at a city council meeting, may be called to order by the chair or any council member for failure to be germane to the business of the city, vulgarity, or personal attacks on persons or institutions. Please remember there is a 3-minute time limit per speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any comments? Would like to come up and say a few words? No, we're good. I know that Clarissa Clemens was thinking about coming. There was a fire on her block, and I think the grandmother died and the daughter, was saved. But the question, she always tries to make something good happen out of something bad. So she wanted to know if there was a fire alarm in the house. Were there enough fire alarms? Does the city install fire alarms for seniors who can't do it? And she started looking into that by finding out what other cities are doing, and a lot of the cities surrounding us do have a program. So she is proposing that we have a program like that in Oak Park because we do have a lot of seniors. So she just wanted to bring that up during call to the audience, but had a health issue, and I hope will come to the next meeting and give us more details about who she spoke to. Call to the council, Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and thank you to our administrative team for doing a great job.
Holy cow. Councilmember Radner.
Good night, everyone.
Councilmember Julie Edgar.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. And I also want to commend our staff for keeping us on track, and very excited about all the good things happening. Thank you.
Unbelievable. Councilmember Whitehead.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Keep watching, because things are cooking in Oak Park. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned.